It still feels like there are a lot of people who are lost in their career, feeling unfulfilled and or burned out. I was one of them. During the pandemic, I was questioning decisions I'd made in my life, looking at all these successful people around me, thinking, what if only, I wish, feeling stuck as to what the rest of my life will look like. I finally had enough, so I quit my job in management consulting with nothing lined up. I spent a lot of time and money, including using a career coach to try and figure out what to do next. In the end, it came down to just 3 questions that helped me the most and changed my outlook on life. And I thought I'd share these in case they help you as well. Now, these questions do require a lot of thinking, and you may need to go through this several times. I'll go through some mental models and frameworks you can use to help answer these questions, but ultimately this will require some serious journaling time. Anyway, here's the first question. What kind of life do you want to live? Now, this may feel like an obvious question, but I do think goal setting is often done so wrong today, where the focus is on short-term rather than long-term goals. As you're thinking about your desires in life, one thing that may help is this framework called the 5 whys analysis. And the purpose is to just test each desire and get to the bottom root cause or root issue as to why you have that desire. So it's really just to test that idea and make sure that it aligns to your own internal values, that it's something that you truly want, or it's something that's dictated by society. So for me, for example, it was that I thought that I wanted to go into a prestigious job like strategy consulting or banking or finance, whatever it may be, simply because of the exit options that came with it and the status that also came with it. But what I actually realized in doing that sort of wise analysis and really testing that was actually it came down to what I really wanted was the social validation that came with it, i.e. the fact that I would be seen as someone that's successful, someone that, you know, is a high earner. So another useful prompt here is to actually just do a little visualization exercise and to, I guess, think about your future self. So imagine you're 80 or 90 or whatever it may be, and you're attending a party to celebrate your life. So for example, who's there? What stories are they sharing about you? What stories are you telling other people about your life and what you did looking back, you know, over your past 80, 90 years, whatever it may have been? And again, I did this visualization exercise many times and kept coming up with different sort of scenarios. I think one of the initial ones that I kept coming with was, you know, I'm some sort of big CEO at some tech company, and I've got loads of people at this party, but like I don't even know any of the people there. The more times I did this, it became more about smaller settings with friends and family, or close friends and family, and it was just me telling stories about different things that I tried, how I traveled a lot, you know, how I impacted other people's lives in very small ways. So I think the important point for this question is to optimize for the long term rather than overemphasizing the short term. Anyway, question 2. Who do you want to spend your time and energy with? Now, you may have heard of the average of 5 rule, I believe initially coined by Jim Rohn, but it basically goes something like this. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So in today's digital world, of course, we are very influenced by the information we consume online through social media and just the internet. But as human beings, we are very social creatures, and so it's also important to think about the people you are interacting with on a day-to-day basis. A boat analogy that I like to use is to surround yourself with sails and not anchors. Sails lift you up, anchors weigh you down. When thinking about who you spend your time with, it's important to apply it to all levels. So for example, it could be work. And so are they entrepreneurs, are they corporate type people, or are they more creative, like content creators, for example? And then going down to even specific personality types. Are they long-term thinking? Do they have a growth mindset? Are they optimists and not pessimists? I think these are all important attributes that you should think about in terms of the types of people, whether it's personality, what they do, how they even spend their time. These are all things you should factor in. Look at your life and surround yourself with those kind of people. The more you surround yourself with people that are doing the type of work that you want to do, or have the personality traits that you aspire to have, or values you aspire to have, then the more likely you are to become that person. The final question is, who do you want to serve and how? Now, I think this might be the most important question out of the 3, and it's not something that I thought deeply about until doing this reflection exercises during the pandemic. I'd like to think most of us feel a sense of purpose and happiness when we help those that are, say, for example, less fortunate in a charity or volunteering capacity, or even something as simple as helping colleagues at work or, your friends and family in a specific situation. When thinking about this question in terms of who do you want to serve, I think a lot of the focus tends to be on the charitable side of things. So, for example, those who are less fortunate and from unprivileged backgrounds. But I also think it's important to think about the work that you do day to day, and who are you serving in that capacity as well. So for me, in my own career, my service was to my clients who were big companies, typically in the financial services sector, and it was to help them get bigger and scale. And ultimately I realized I just didn't really care about that. A lot of the time it felt like my work didn't even make much impact, or that I didn't even see the impact of the work that we did. A big reason for why I'm creating this channel and doing these videos is because of this serve question. It's because I saw that there are many other unhappy corporate professionals around me who are looking to live a more meaningful life, achieve financial freedom, all whilst having lots of fun. Now, a couple of final points on this question is: one, you don't need to limit yourself to just one group of people. It could be multiple groups of people or communities, whatever it may be that you want to serve. And you may want to serve them in different ways as well. The other point here is that you may think this is a similar question to the who do you want to spend your time and energy with, but there is a slight difference in that. I guess the who do you want to spend your time and energy with, it could be, for example, entrepreneurs, because you want to build a business, and so you want to also be surrounded by other people that have their own business so that you can learn from each other. But who you meant to serve may be something completely different. For example, it may be a specific skill that you have that you want to pass on, or it might even be, for example, you're an entrepreneur, but you want to teach people that are in the corporate world how to become entrepreneurs. So those are the three questions that help me the most. Now, as you're going through these questions, you may start to think about what are your skills and interests, and where can you provide the most value. See, to build wealth, you need to provide maximum value to others. And to do that, you need to know what your skills and interests are. For that, check out this other video where I go through what I did to try and answer the question, what am I uniquely good at? Thank you.